Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So we have a new survival adventure here in front of us, and that is, can we survive the moon? So why the moon? Well, ever since Core Systems came out and Apex Survival, I wanted to try again to survive in the moon, and it's more of a build and chill type of thing, but we're going to try to do this in 100 days. So that means 100 in-game days, which is 1 hour day cycle, 1 hour night cycle. So that'll be considered a full day. We're going to get our creative mind together and try to build a nice little cool moon base and everything like that, and come up with some random creative things to do in terms of like a drilling rig and any other platforms or places that we need. So right here, it looks like a pretty neat little space. Looks like there's some ores around right over here. Very flat spot where we can actually throw our base on. So kind of works out. We can even throw it here too, which is next to this, whatever this is. Let's go see what this is. I think we can move a little bit towards the center to get a better base. At least a starting point. But we can always move anyway. So here it is nickel, magnesium, silicon. So we'll just GPS this as NMS. So we know what that is, kind of. But I think if we move towards this end here, we should be good. I thought I saw a little bit of an ore speck on the ground out here. Very flat area, which looks nice, like a really nice spot to start building. So let's just start here. Oh, let's go over that hump. And is that the specs I was looking at? Yeah, there is specs. If that's iron, that'll be perfect. Nope, it's nickel. So not as great as I thought it would be. If it was iron, that'd be perfect. Platinum. Okay, so we could get things rolling pretty quickly if it's platinum. So that is actually not too bad. I'm pretty sure there's other spots here. So we're going to start the base here. Sun's kind of right above us, so it will set shortly or so. So we're going to start and quickly trim down the rover a little bit because we don't necessarily need all this craziness. And we can try to get an algae farm up and running as soon as possible, so we can get at least a few algae before the day goes down and try to survive through the night. So just grabbing the steel plates up here from the design purposes. We grab the ladder, we'll grab the parachute hatch and the canvas right there. We'll grab the wheel that's underneath here as well. Steel plates, some extra ones that we can grab as well. And you grab these little tiny ones, so you gotta be careful not to take out the battery. Like that. Alright, so from here, I'm just gonna hide from the sun, but we can generate a small little landing gear. I guess we could throw in this little landing gear, which is the new one, the core system one. That's part of the DLC pack, but we don't keep it there because we don't need it. And we gotta unlock the cockpit as well. So we're gonna grind this down, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna throw away our steel plates and glass so that doesn't get welded into here. And that way we get extra steel plates and glass. Back here's where we're gonna start our base. So let's just use interior walls for now. It's the cheapest thing we can use. We'll throw one here, and I'm just gonna throw it kind of this way for now. And what we're gonna do is put an assembler right over here, and the port's gonna face towards that way. Perfect. So if we get this assembler going up and quickly, that'll be perfect. I wish I had a bit of a welder with us if we could on the rover itself, so we don't have to jump out of here and weld it together, but looks like we do. I'm trying to get away from the sun a little bit as much as possible. Ooh, that's not really helping. Okay, so we need a little bit of steel plates and displays and such as well. But before that, we actually do need to do a solar panel. So we do 4 solar cells, 2 girders, and we do like 4 displays, 10 of the motors, and a bunch of computers. We're looking at about 80 computers. Just to get us a little bit started. And of course, we'll do a little bit of steel plates and construction components. Let's do 30 each for now. I don't know if we have enough materials for all that, but I hope so. If not, we'll grind down the rover a little bit more as well. So if we have all that, we'll get that going. And let me just make a quick little solar panel so we could also get progression going and also create a little bit of a shading here. Like so. The glass and everything. We'll leave that for now because we're probably just going to tear this down eventually. So we just want to get this up and running first. And we could add additional shading by grabbing the algae farm. I'm going to use the half algae farm. Of course, some items I'm using right now is going to be attainable mainly from DLC packs and things like that. So we're just adding that as an extra shade for now. I think that works, right? It's framed. Yep, that looks to be perfectly fine. So we mainly need to get this thing going as soon as possible. And the solar panel was to get a rotor going. So we don't necessarily need this anymore. So we could grind it down. We could leave it as a bit of a shade for now as well. That's perfectly fine. We're almost done with the computers. And we also need a little bit more steel plates as well. And we should be good from there. There we go. And of course, we're going to throw in the canvas in here, the solar cells, because we're going to dismantle those in a second. Not just yet. All right, so here is where it gets tricky. What I'm going to do here is going to grab a rotor. It doesn't have to be advanced rotor, just a normal old rotor is fine. Looks like we need to move a little bit. I'm going to just drive this out a little bit so we can line it up with the assembler really quickly. I think that should do it. Turn that around. Okay, that should probably do it. I'm going to expose myself a little bit for now. That's fine. But we'll throw in a rotor right here. It's going to be a large rotor. We just got to grab the plate for that really quick. Right there. We don't need the head there. And if we're looking at it, it kind of looks like it's on the higher side, but we could potentially still put it here, I think. And what we're going to do is put a piston head right there. But we do need an extra steel plate, unfortunately. So we'll put that there. Get rid of this. And we're going to back this thing up into the rotor. And that's how we're going to power up our assembler. All right, so yeah, not a good idea. So we need it to be upper. We don't even have to weld up anything. We're just going to stick it right there, basically. And I don't have Build Vision mod on just yet, but we will eventually. But we don't need it. We have this, and we can just go into the rotor and just do attach. Right, perfect. Nothing broke. Now, our assembler is up and running. We'll grab everything from the survival kit. Throw it into the basic assembler. Let's go do some production. So we're going to get rid of the... Not windows. We're going to get rid of solar cells. We're going to get rid of the canvas. We can also get rid of the data pad if we wanted to, which I didn't even collect just yet. I should have. That's all in here. And we should look at the data pad, which is probably that station that I can see nearby. Yep, right there. The ROSR station, which is actually faction-wise minerals and gases, or an ore, an ore economy base. Nice. Okay, so we could throw that in here if we really wanted to and get rid of it, and that way we could get our 10 more glass for our algae farm. But we are gonna need a little bit more stuff. So let's see here. We need small steel tubes. We need steel plates, and I don't know if we're gonna have all that without breaking down the assembler. Which I'm okay doing because we don't necessarily need all that. We do need small steel tubes that we need 19 of them. So hopefully we could produce 19 or just say 20 for now. And what we got? We also need a little bit of computers, but we can get all that from the assembler. Okay, so steel plates. I think if we break the assembler down, we should be okay. Algae farm up and running, start collecting, that would be perfect. And we'll work our way around getting the assembler back up and running shortly. More importantly, I needed the algae farm, so that's Perfect. So now there's an unknown signal. Ooh, 3 away. That's all the way up there. That's not coming down. That's a problem. I will throw everything back in here. Looks like we need 9 more computers, so we could probably make 9 more. But I don't think we can make any more steel plates. Yeah, steel plate wise, we are missing close to 30, and we don't have much at all. So we probably could utilize the unknown signal to get that, or take some more stuff off of the rover. But right now, I can't really get off of the base because the algae farm is collecting algae pretty decently. I'm just gonna chill in here for a sec. The algae farm is at 96% efficiency, which is great. I could technically drill a little bit of stone so I could get the steel plates up and running, but is that really something I really want to do? Probably not, but it's gonna have to happen. I don't think I'm gonna fly up there and get an unknown signal anytime soon, so I'm just gonna pop in kind of behind somewhere. Maybe this little crater, because it's already a bit of a hole. Ooh, it's quite a deep hole already, too. And it's a little exposed, but we're going to go inside a little cubby hole just to get away from the sun. And I think we should be fine here, yeah. So if we need to collect a little stone for now, that's perfectly fine. I do not intend to collect a lot of stone by hand, because that is not really, really entertaining. I'm going to try to get the least amount of stone as possible, but for now, we just got to grab some from there. Okay, we could get in here. Are we covered by the shade a little bit? Yes. Okay, stone-wise, we'll get some production going here. And work our way from here. We do want the rover to have a drill, though, so that's the big thing. But we can't move it just yet. If I can get this up and running first, then we should be fine. Because we need to make some power cells and things like that for a battery and such. Alright, so food-wise, we're at 62%. Not too bad. I think we're going to be able to survive the night. We probably will get a few algae from this. Not a lot, but a good chunk. Maybe 1 extra packet, which could be probably decent in order to survive the night. Looks like we should have... We might have enough for steel plates, maybe. It's kind of running a little low. Let's see here. Nope, we're a little low, but I think we should be okay. No, we got all dirty. Nice. So the basic assembler can be redone. All right, I'm just going to take out 2. Throw it on the floor for now. Trying to conserve as much as we can. Okay, so we have assembler back up. We have our algae farm sucking things up. Or creating algae, I should say. So we got 2 more minutes for another output. I think we only have 1 so far, right? Yeah, 1. That's not too bad. The sun is still directly in front of us. So we might get a full packet. Now, I really do want to try to get that. But it's pretty far away and I might get burned. 3 away is quite far. And I have much coverage. We could certainly try it. And see if that's possible. And we are hitting close to 30s already. Ooh, okay. This is going to be a little bit rough. But hopefully we could hide behind it if it's small enough. Alright, so where's the sun? Grab that really quickly. Grab this really quickly. Cobalt, nice. And we can hide behind it like that, I think. Yes, so we can chill out like that for now. And grab all the random stuff that's on here. So look, good little bits of steel plates, construction components, interior plates as well. And grab that. All right, we should be okay to head back down without burning too much. Oh, we're still covered by that little bit. That's nice. All right, there we go. And look at that. We are actually hiding behind, or we're making a base in a fairly big old crater. So that's nice. Okay, so see ores there, and there, right there as well, and bunch here too. So we are in a perfect spot. Now we're gonna find ice. I don't know, but I hope so. All right, let's go in here. Let's see what we got. So we got some cobalt, some med kits would be helpful, and some space credits. That's not as helpful. So unfortunately now, once again, we can't really leave because our algae farm is doing its thing. And we got a little bit here. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna do a little bit of drilling, hand drilling, so we get a little bit more stone. So we get a basic refinery going, and then maybe a battery. Because once we get a basic refinery going, we're definitely gonna go for some iron, so that way we could speed up production as quick as possible. All right, so a refinery or basic refinery is gonna need 100 steel plates and other things. Oof, I don't know if we have enough materials for that, but let's produce it. 100 steel plates, motors, and everything else. I think we should be able to make a few after getting these stones all kind of cut down. But let me put the refinery right across for now. We don't need it to be on the assembler. I would prefer a cargo container right there. So we'll put that there. Construction components and motors and things. I don't know if we have enough. We don't. That is fine. We'll grab what we can for now. And a basic refinery. Here we come. All set. Nicely done there. And we'll grab the rest from here. Okay, so the next piece is going to be a cargo container. But the cargo container... not really a good way to go right this moment because we don't have any mats for it, but we'll just take in an interior plate and just throw a frame of it for now. We don't have metal grids yet, that's why. Okay, so now we have that. That means we get iron. So plenty of places to check. I gotta figure out where the sun is over there. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit hard to kind of go and search for ore, but we're gonna do it anyway. That's the MNS nickel magnesium silicon, not silver. Would be nice if it was silver. I'm just trying to look for ice or iron. That'd be nice. Here's iron and cobalt. That's like perfect. So iron is already right here. Since we have a refinery, we no longer need to get stone. Get stone. So we're gonna get ice instead. So I think digging underneath is gonna help us and protect us from the sun as well. So that's always a good thing. But eventually we are gonna make drilling rigs, or at least turn the rover into our first drilling rig, so we can get all these materials a lot faster. Good to know that we have cobalt really nearby. That's always a good sign. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna get out of the hole right over here. I'm gonna GPS pointer this. That's the iron hole. Why not? And cobalt looks like it's right next to the iron, so it'll be like right here. I'm just gonna do a quick little drill hole if I can find it. I'm not gonna get any because I can't even get any anyways. Okay, we got cobalt here. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pop up here. GPS a cobalt hole. And what else here? Also nickel. So much nickel. Just good too. Where's the sun now? All right, it's going away technically. So either we move... Ooh, I thought I was gonna hurt myself there. Either we move it horizontally or not. That's kind of the question. We probably should. But let's see. Where is our algae farm up to? So our algae farm, it's at 77% and 1 minute kill. So once that 1 minute's up, I'll probably just dismantle it and put it more horizontally for now. But we'll throw all the iron and stone in here, so we can get a good amount of things there. We do want to get some of the cobalt too, so we can get this cargo container up and running. Let's go to that little bit of a honey hole. Where's that cobalt hole? We don't want to... I don't think we need too much cobalt, but a nice little chunk of it would be great. It'll take forever to refine. That's why we don't need that much. All right, I think that is more than enough. About half a pack of it. We have some stone as well, but I'd rather have iron. Okay, we got cobalt and iron. What we're missing is nickel and some silicon. Although stone is fairly sufficient in terms of getting it. Getting to the source directly is even better. So we'll throw that right in here, the refinery, to get that cooking. Ooh, we got a decent amount of iron now. That's awesome. I'll throw it in there. And once the cobalt is up and running, we can do that as well. But night is going to go down soon. Oh, where's my algae farm? 5 minutes for the next one. All right, that's fine. We're going to take this down for now. Grab the algae. 6 algae. That is actually pretty good. And we're going to throw in a regular old algae farm here. Just easier if I use this one at this point. So let's just throw that there. We also get a little bit of coverage from the sun. Perfect. So we might have enough packets for us over the nighttime. I hope. We currently have 5, but we can make another one. So we're going to have 6. It's just... If we don't get other foods, we're likely having to have to live off of the algae for a little bit, or the kelp crisp for a little bit. I'm gonna throw everything in there, and we just need that to be functional. Let me grab some of this items here. Can we make 4 metal grids now? Just 4 would be nice. Yes, perfect. So that helps out a lot. And that should be it. Now we have a cargo container. Nice. Looking pretty good. Let's see. Algae farm, how are you doing? You should be at like 90%, 87%. All right, that's not too bad. Did you already produce an algae for us? No, not yet. But the sun is going to go down. And once that goes down, we're going to be off here. So that's another thing. Okay, so let's expand this a little bit. Do we have interior plates? Yes, we do. Not much. Ooh. Not much at all. All right. So we got 3x3. Let's just expand it there. So we have something to walk on. And that should be good. All right. So what else do we need? Then we need some power source. So a solar power panel would be nice. So we use this half one would be decent. Should have probably done that earlier, actually. And then that way we could charge our batteries, but that's fine. We'll throw this here. There. So we have power. So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't know why I didn't think about that. We should have just did that so we have power so we could disconnect this. But if we can make 80 power cells, then we should be pretty decent. I don't know if we can. It looks like we are able to. So we are getting in a good place. So that means if I just throw in a power or battery, I should say. We'll use this battery right over here. And we'll stick it there. We're missing a few things. Not a lot. Okay. This is where we have our power up and running. So that's good. So the solar panel can stay here or not stay here. It doesn't really matter. The sun is going to come out from behind us right over here, I think. Hopefully. And yeah, the algae will get it. But by the time we come back, hopefully, we have enough to do like a custom turret controller situation. All right, next is the drill. Gonna try to get this up and running as soon as possible. I think we're missing a bit of parts here. Oh, we definitely did need to make too much large steel tubes because we do have some here. The construction components and stuff we need. We don't need that. Did I cancel in time? Not sure if I did, but maybe. Okay, here's our drill. And we can remove this because we no longer need to be connected. And actually, probably shouldn't have done the drill just yet. Kind of want to redesign this a little bit. So, in terms of redesigning, let me get rid of not the block, piston head really quick, and this piston head since we already took it out a little bit. So what we want to do here is actually grab the survival kit and put it on the base. So that's a fun little idea. I want to use the new one, but if I use the new one from Apex Survival, it's this one here. We can only put it up here. So is that a good idea? I don't know. If we put it here, that just means we need some C tubes, which we might not have enough materials for. Or we continue to use the original one, which is just sideways. I think we may have to just use the original one, which kind of sucks. But for now. And we got a survival kit going, which is perfect. All right. We'll just throw that in there. So we're not all piped in just yet. But if I had the algae farm here, that'd be great. All right. So back here is the thing we need to work on. So we need an O2H2 system as well. So I'm going to do the bubbles version one here. We may or not have all the parts for it, but if we put it here like this, that'll be perfect. It will line up with the ports over there. Yeah, let's do that. Nope, we need steel plates. Didn't I just make steel plates? Looks like we're out of steel plates already. Jeez. Let's get the frame of this going. So we're going to do a lab O2 here. And I think it'll be a good idea to have a medium cargo container here. Do we want to go for a larger one, like the modular cargo container? But that's just going to be huge. We kind of want a bit of a compact rover slash ship. We're definitely going to turn into a ship sooner or later. Guess we need to. For drilling purposes, I don't think a rover will suffice for drilling purposes, especially when it's on the ground. All right, cool. Yeah, medium cargo container. So we could expand the wheels if we wanted to. But it looks pretty balanced. It should be okay. And I'm not worried about doing hydrogen just yet. We need ice. For now, or it's just going to trickle through to the back here to the medium cargo container. So it would be nice to have ice now. So we could throw in some hydrogen tanks, small hydrogen tanks, and some hydrogen thrusters. All right, so what we can do here also is fill our bottles. So more importantly, this is a hydrogen tank. So we need to do this, unfortunately. It's kind of weird, but we have to do it that way. Hydrogen tank on auto refill, get a bottle, and we'll bring that back in. And we kind of have to do the same thing with this one here. It's an air vent. We don't really need an air vent, but it's just there. All right, perfect. Now we can go mobile for sure. Let's eat. All right, 3 more left. I don't know if that's enough to survive through the night. We may have to go to the GPS pointer or the beacon, which is 6.3 away to get food. That might be a good bet, but we are in a crater, so we have to travel through these rocky bits first in order to get there. So that's a bit rough. I can't really see the markings on the floor anymore, but if we can find ice, then we should be in a good spot. Could drill out a nice little hole to get through these rocks, though. That would be an interesting idea. We do have a drill up front. That's a possibility. Okay, so this is probably our best bet to go around for now. We should be able to climb up these bits here because there's not much gravity going on. But looks like we got a little bit of a... Yeah, we got a small little hole we can kind of get through. Not exactly what I thought was going to happen, but sure. We could cut through this a little bit if we really, really wanted to. Platinum, nickel again. Jeez. Okay, this is... May not have been the best thing to do, but... Alright, that worked out okay. Nickel silicon again. Alright, so getting back's gonna be fun. This is very rocky. just to get to the economy base. I think we definitely need the economy base to get some extra food if they sell it. I hope they do. 5 away. Yikes. Would be nicer if I had a proper hydrogen engine here, or a thruster, I mean. So we could float there a little bit better, but this is working okay. I left everything on default in terms of the wheels. I think we could pop in some more power to do this a little bit faster, but so far so good. Ooh, that is... These are tiny little holes here. That is not great for landing. We are down to the last kelp crisp. We might just eat it as well. We're only getting 8% out of it, so it's not much. Okay, you stay here. Let me see if we got any food. So by default, we do start with a little bit of food. I mean, food. We did start a little bit of food, but we also start with a little bit of cash on us. So hopefully there is food in here. I'm assuming the store is here. Yep. Food, yes. We start with 10,000 SCs, so we're not completely broke, and we could get some flatbread and some ramen. So that's going to help us momentarily. Ooh, they sell hydrogen, gold, all the goodies. Nice. What do they buy? Components. Okay, then that works out pretty well. Contracts. If we can find any good contracts, why not take them? That's going to give us a lot of money. Ooh, that's a lot. So that was that. And now we're going to focus on getting ourselves upgraded with the algae farm. Yeah, we need to quickly find ice around us. I think there's ice around us. Hopefully there is. If not, then that's going to suck. But we do have platinum. So if we upgrade fast enough, we can get ourselves some ion thrusters instead. But more or less, I think we're going to work off of hydrogen, if anything. I mean, they sell hydrogen here, so we could throw in a big old hydrogen tank and then load it up with hydrogen. That also could work. Ooh. Yikes. Why am I doing this? Bouncing on these rocks. We're going to go to the unknown signal first because it's close by. Try to ramp as much as possible. Well, ramping is... I can't say for sure if it's faster, but look at like we are going a little bit faster. But if you bounce up, down, and we're bouncing constantly, that's where it gets a little bit of an issue. Okay, where's the button on this thing? Flip it over. Get myself some skins. Ooh, meal pack. Food paste. Nice. So we did find some food on this thing. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, let's grab the rover and head back home. What can we eat first? What has the lowest food paste that we just got? Okay, we'll eat that. That's going to sustain us through the night a bit. Now we're going to climb the craziness of this cavernous area. Why are we so up here? We are way up on top. I should have picked up a little bit more speed. Yikes. Yikes. Oof. Alright, we're gonna go up here, I guess. Alright, we are good with the iron. So, you can work off of that, please. Ooh, 3k worth. Nice. Okay, I'm not sure we have enough power to do all that, but it is what it is. Okay. So we're going to make this as compact as possible. We're going to do a rotor right over here. An advanced rotor here would be nice. And then above that will be a hinge. And then from there, we add a conveyor junction if we can. We can. That's perfect. So we put the conveyor here. And then we could throw in some algae farms. More or less use the original ones, I think, would be a better idea. So one here, one here. And can we put the flatter ones? Not really. We could do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the flat one kind of on the conveyor right there. So that would give us 4 algae farms that we need. And at the same time, we get some power out of this thing. So we throw in a solar panel here and one here. So that's a full solar panel, which is not a lot. So maybe we use the other one. This one first like that. And we'll grab, and then we'll add this one here on the side. Will that look okay? Yeah. Better than nothing. There you go. That's a lot of materials though. But we're going to get this done first if we can. Let's just grab everything that we can out of this thing. Then that can be done. That can't be done. That can't be done. Basically, nothing could be fully done. Might have gone a little too far with this, but it should be all right. Oop. Oh, geez. I was supposed to put a hinge here, and I ended up putting something else here. Why did that happen? Interesting. How did I do that? Who knows? Here's a hinge. Then we do the conveyor junction as we did before. Algae farms. All right, so we did grab a little bit of nickel and silicon, and we got to race to the unknown signal. All right, so we're at the 1.5 hour mark. So it's 45 minutes each level up. So the day is nearly done. All right, unknown signal, what do you got for us today? We'll grab this and this. Ooh, seeds and spores. Nice. Ooh, hydrogen thruster. Nice. Well, we have the cobalt anyways. We could have just made it too, but it's always good to find. All right, let's hold our drill out and charge back home. That way we can see if we've missed any ice or ores around the area, especially this very dingy spot, which is a little bit hard to navigate. Yeah, the ice is escaping us a little bit, so that's not good. But we have silver and platinum, so I think we can go straight to ion thrusters potentially. So we'll see. Okay, the sun is going to be out shortly. We need to get this done ASAP. All right, there we go. 4 of our algae farms and 4 of our solar panels. Technically 3 total in terms of size. So we just need to get the custom turret controller up and running. And we are a bit hungry once again. We are 44%. We ate everything that we already ate. So that's not looking good. So yeah, sun hopefully is going to be up soon, but we need this to be rotated correctly. Also do need a little bit of more computers because there's a camera right here that needs it. There we go. Okay, the custom turret, your smaller one is your better bet. Small cost versus large cost, pretty significant. So we're just going to use a small one here. And that's going to fall a little bit, but that's fine. Not a big deal. We need detector components and such, which I think we have some things. And there we go. Small custom turret controller is more than enough to get this following the sun. First things first, let's get the hinge up here ready. Hinge, solar. Let's just rename these. We're going to have to bring this up a little bit so it could be at 0%. 1% works too. But 0% in this case. Our advanced rotor here will be also for the solar alignment. And then we have it. So the custom turret controller here is going to be azimuth is the advanced rotor. Elevation is the hinge. And we have the camera, which we should change to. All right, I'm going to change the velocities to 1 so don't swig out too much. And then aim at the sun. Okay, so the camera, we just need to rename this just in case. We have multiple cameras, but there you go. Sun is about coming up. We will be getting a little bit of the algae. It's already 100%. Wow. Really nice. So 2 minutes, we'll get 1 algae. So we should survive pretty decently. And of course, we could have done a simple bed as well if we can. Looks like we can't. I think we need to weld up something like a interior wall. That could have stopped hunger too, but sleeping outside in space doesn't seem to be a good idea, would it? We don't have much coverage here, but we could put that there. But we do have multiple beds because we do have other DLCs. So we could put one that has a bit of coverage, like this one, an inset bed. Right over here. Or here. Anywhere's fine. Let's say here. I wonder if this kind of works. And can I put a door here? That would be interesting. It was let's use a center door. Why not? We got it. Why not utilize it? Yeah. We could have done this to save on the whatchamacallit too. Exposure and also for the hunger, potentially. Are you not building anything? I don't hear anything going on. So the bed there. We need some computers. We need to make a roof a little bit too. So then that way we get some coverage from the radiation. We get a lot of exposure right this moment. Alright, close that door. We are in a not healthy environment in terms of oxygen, but we've got a bed in a little bit of a corridor. We're safe from the sun, and we get to put ourselves to sleep. So day 1 is over. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a new series of, again, this is just getting started. We're going to end up building much, much more. So hope you guys continue watching. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.